Well, hello, football fans, and welcome to this edition of the Randall Mill Pharmacy Billy Skinner Lamar Viking Football Coaches Show. I'm Bill Frawley, and with me, as always, male athletic coordinator and head
Yeah,
football coach Billy Skinner. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing well. It's Tuesday morning, and it was kind of cool and little clouds flying over the sky this morning.
We'll take it. It's almost hoodie season. I think we thought that 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and then it got hot again. But I can't wait. I love hoodie season. I love it when it gets nice and chilly outside. So bring on the clouds.
And I even saw a few raindrops, sprinkle drops on my way to my office in downtown Fort Worth this morning. So
I'll take every bit of it.
you bet. Well, Coach, gosh, last Friday night, 70-56. I haven't seen a score like that since I went to a good six-man game. Those were so much fun. I was asking people up in the booth if they knew what six-man football was. Some did, some didn't. But Coach, how long has it been since the Vikings put 70 something on the scoreboard?
So yeah, I saw something online the other day that said it's been 10 years. 2014, we played Pascal and we put up 70
Okay.
then. So it's been a while.
Good. Well, and it was such a complete game because if do I remember correctly, there were three pick sixes
Yes, there
or
were
three.
three pick sixes, which that's it's incredible. And it just kind of goes to show like some of the offensive firepower we have on the other side of the ball too. So
I think did Zion Johnson have a couple of those?
you know what? He did not this week, but he did have one
Okay.
against Horn. So he was one that
Okay.
he had an interception in his hands, and I'm not going to tell him that he dropped it, but he didn't catch it. And then two plays later, Deontay
Gentry,
Gentry
that's okay.
actually picked
Yeah.
it off and went and scored. So
Well, I mean, the defense had everything going. The offense was powerful. Special teams was great. So, what a complete game all the way around.
yeah, I can't tell you how proud I was of our kids. And it started last Monday. To be quite candid, I feel like last year, um, I, as the leader, did a very poor job of overhyping a game, overhyping a. I made it more about other people. I made it more about the school that's down the street than the kids that were on our campus, and I swore that I would never do that again. I swore I would never overhype an opponent, regardless of rivalries and those kind of things. And so we just talked to the kids about what we, the Vikings, needed to do that week, and the message was very, very simple. We told our kids if we start fast and we finish strong, we've got a shot to do something that nobody expects us to do. Um, the kids bought into it. They bought into it at practice. Normally, we start with a stretch and then just kind of ease our way into practice. But last week we started hot. I mean, we hit a quick stretch and I'm hitting a whistle and it's good on good, offense versus defense, some kind of situation, whether it be red zone, whether it be third down. But we started practices really hot. Then we go through, do our practice stuff. And then at the end, again, we wanted to start fast, but we wanted to finish strong. So at the end, we'd bring them up and do something very competitive just to kind of get the juices flowing so that they felt what it took. And they executed to a T. And I was so proud of our kids. I was so proud for our seniors who they wanted that win, and they left it all out on the field for each other, and it was cool, very cool.
Yeah, they did leave it all out there. And two questions come to my mind. I'm going to go to one of them first. Obviously, one of them first, but in practice, you've talked about this before, but I don't know that we've talked about it much this season on these shows.
Mhm.
How intense does contact get? But when it's Vikings on Vikings, like you said, it was good on good. How intense does contact get and simulate a real game and real tackling and stuff through the week?
Right. Well, we've got three tempos, what we call three tempos. The first tempo is live, and live means that we're going to tackle one another. We're going to get people to the ground. Our kids understand in practice, we never, ever, ever. I mean, it is a cardinal sin to tackle a player and tackle a teammate from behind. So,
Okay.
regardless of what the tempo is, our kids know we don't tackle each other from behind. But live is the first tempo. The second tempo is something that's called thud. And on thud tempo, you actually get your chest on the person you're trying to tackle. You thud them up. but you keep them up. So we thud up, keep up. That's the second tempo. And then the third tempo is something we call tag tempo. And that's where defensive guys are sprinting to the ball carrier, but the expectation is that they're tagging off on their hip. And we're very, very intentional when we talk about tagging off on the hip. We don't want our kids creating bad habits. Well, if we get their eyes on the hip and they go and they tag off, well, that's telling me that you're in a position to where if we're live or anything like that, you can make that play, you can make that tackle. If you're tagging off on the shoulder, you're tagging off on the back, that's not the
You're just
standard.
flailing around.
That's right. So we give
Yeah.
them a very precise target and aiming point for them to tag off on, and that's our third tempo is when we go tag tempo. We rarely do live tempo in a practice. We'll do a little bit during fall camp and in scrimmages, but for the most part, we keep it at thud tempo. And really, we started hot with those. We started hot with those practices last week, but a lot of our kids, they've just done it so much. We can have very hot, very intense tag tempo sessions, and a couple of those were tag tempos. And our kids, again, get to the spot, get where they need to be. I know the tackle's going to be made. So yeah, you've got to be careful from a health standpoint, especially this late in the game, just to make sure that kids are staying off the ground, staying healthy.
All right, makes sense. Thanks for that. I think I find it very interesting. Hopefully, some of our viewers do as well. Other question, then going back to something you just said in that last conversation or whatever exchange, starting fast, finishing strong. The Vikings did both of those on Friday night. Came out fast, got a lead,
Yep.
and I can see where I don't think anyone's purposely ever going to let off the gas, so to speak. But it's that in between. They'll say, hey, on your great tombstone, you're going to have a birth date and a death date. Well, what happens in that hyphen in between, right?
Right.
So the stuff in between the fast start and the strong finish, tell us about how do you keep guys motivated when it can seem like, oh, we got this in the bag, or we've got a lead that they can't come back. We were calculating time and number of possessions possible up in the booth, and I'll leave it to you now.
Well, a couple of things. One, it starts with me and the coaching staff, but that's something that you really rely on your leaders for. That's something that, as that's going on, Gannon Carey walking up the sideline, hey, keep it going, keep it going, keep on the pressure. Guys like that Braylon Williams, he's a sophomore, but he's one of the best leaders I've ever been around. Just keep applying the pressure, keep it up. Don't let up. Don't get comfortable. And, the truth of the matter is when you're playing a team that's coached by Scott Peach and his staff, you cannot let up because again, we scored 70 points, but let's not get confused. I mean, they scored 54 points. It was a close game all the way until the end. Those guys are going to fight all the way until the end. So complacency and comfort is not a place that you can really get to whenever you're playing anyone, but whenever you're playing that caliber of coaching and that caliber of team, you've got to keep that pressure up. And our leaders did a great job, of keeping that going all game long.
Excellent. I can imagine guys are a little bit winded and just whatever from a lot of up and down the field, both sides of the ball and everything. How's everyone doing? Health. I won't even say comfort because that's not a word in there, but how's everyone doing and getting ready for this next big game against Bowie?
So when we work up here on Sundays, I will open up the training room just for any kids that want to come and get an ice bath and air boots and all of the treatment stuff. And I'll tell you, we were a little bit busier on Sunday than we have been all year because it was a long game. It was really, really long. Our defense was on the field 80 something snaps, just under 90 snaps, which playing defensive football that many snaps, it's a grind. And so there's the bumps and bruises from that aspect of it, but for the most part, our kids they're 15, 16, 17-year-olds, so they're very resilient. Their bones and legs and muscles and all of those things, I can tell you right now, I would not be nearly at the speed those kids are at after doing something of that nature, but no, our kids are in good shape.
Yeah, speaking of speed, it was funny because we had a new guy join our broadcast team. He was helping Spot up there at Choctaw Stadium, and he saw Gannon Carey running and accelerating. He saw, a Gentry running and accelerating, And he goes, my gosh, those guys, this is the first time he's seen Lamar in ages. He says,
Yeah,
my gosh, those guys are fast. I said, yeah, from talking to coach, if they were in a school zone, they'd be speeding right
that's right.
now.
Hey, it's funny you say that. Both Gannon Carey and Kelton Barney, they both would have gotten speeding
Yeah.
tickets this week. So Gannon went 20.9 miles per hour, and then Kelton Barney went 21.67 miles per hour
Holy cow.
this week. I mean, that's scary moving. So hey, I will tell you this: I don't know who that was helping Spot, and since this is his first game of the year, he's got to come back the last two. So tell him he's if we're gonna perform like
I've been
that,
trying to put a little pressure.
he's signed up. So show him this and let him know he's on board now.
Okay. His name is John Warren, by the way.
Got it.
So anyone
Hey,
that, no,
John,
I'm
you're
just
on.
kidding.
You're in.
All right, Coach. One fundamental rule type question that was coming up with us in the booth again, because you brought to my mind when you mentioned in practice, y'all don't tackle from behind.
Mhm.
I know the horse collar rule
Yep.
has kind of changed over time. What is it now? Because it used to be you had to grab the shoulder pads and it was
Yep.
grab the top of the jersey, then somewhere. What is the rule on a horse collar?
Yeah, you've got to be inside the back of the shoulder pad. I've had people who have
Okay.
told me that the jersey doesn't really matter, but it's it's really hard for them to decipher and know for sure if it looks bad and it's dangerous looking. Basically, if you see the runner get peeled backwards, that's what you're trying to prevent. So if they see that, regardless of where the hand placement and all of those things, if they see the runner going backwards
Okay.
and you're anywhere near inside the shoulder pad, they're going to call it. And that's I do think that that's an important safety piece for kids. I mean, that's I don't want to go too far back, but that's what happened when Roy Williams tackled Terrell Owens and broke his leg when he played for the Eagles, and that's just you don't
Yeah.
want that. You don't want that to happen to any kid. You don't want that to happen.
Well, good safety aspects all the way around.
No doubt.
And basically, again, not trying, hopefully, none of the officials ever trying to be just, oh, no, his finger was here, there. It's the
Right.
safety of the player, not peeling
That's
them
it.
back to expose their whole front side.
That's it.
All
That's
right.
it.
You,
You
you
don't want
mentioned
to
a
get in a
term
wrench with
here.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you mentioned a term here. I'm going to ask a question
Mhm.
sort of candidly or whatever. You tell me as much as you can to everyone. A player was injured last Thursday
Yes.
night in a JV
Yep.
game, carted off the field, looked like a leg injury possibly.
Yes.
What can you tell us and how's everything going?
Yeah. So one of our JV guys was carted off, Devon House, and he is. I'm telling you right now, he's one of those guys that he might be the toughest kid I've ever come across. I mean, he was on the field, and it was a tough injury. Didn't make a lot of noise, wasn't whining and complaining, and those kind. I mean, I'm telling you, I would have been crying, and he was really focusing on his breathing, but he looked up and said, "Hey, how long does it take to recover from one of these injuries?" And
My
the people that were out there like,
gosh.
"Hey, man, let's get you out of here." And anyway, he is at home resting. He's doing well. He'll be back at school hopefully at the beginning of next week. So we've definitely been sending prayer and positive vibes to him and his family, and he's in great spirits. He was up moving around the day after, which was really good. He's doing well, and he'll be back in action before you know it. So he's one that all of the Vikings have been thinking about.
Well, thanks to you coaches, the training staff, the medics that showed up to help out. And, I'm glad he's doing well, glad he's in good spirits and looking forward to getting back on the field. It was interesting. Hey, I don't drive an ambulance. I
Yeah,
didn't know if they would back up, turn around, but it's almost like they took a victory lap around
yeah,
the
yeah.
field for him or whatever.
It's
So
it.
hope that didn't sound inappropriate or
No, no,
anything,
not
but
at all.
lights going and everything. I mean, that's how I would have wanted it if I'd been in the back of that thing. So, all right. Well, what else can you tell us about how the JV freshman teams did last Thursday night?
Yeah, so we competed really stinking hard. In that JV game in particular, we went down big early.
Yeah.
Didn't get it going offensively. And had an opportunity, I think, to really, okay, well, this isn't our week. Our teammate just got hurt. Let's pack it in and get ready for next week. And our guys came together defensively. Our guys kind of bowed their necks. Offensively, our guys came together and were like, no, 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 we're going to keep fighting. We're going to show that VFND spirit. Jaden Shaw, who's playing quarterback for that group, really he was a catalyst there for his team to continue to scrap and claw. And even when the game was lost, when the game was won for Arlington, I mean, our kids kept stinking fighting and going and trying to get one last touchdown, trying to get one last stop. And just really proud of the spirit that they showed. The freshmen played over at Arlington High. Our freshman gold team had a serious battle going back and forth, ended up coming a little bit short. And then our freshman Navy team, again, a very valiant effort. That their freshman group is a very special, good group of players, and our kids kept it close. Our kids competed really hard, made some really big plays. There's a video of Man Arroyo causing a fumble that was really impressive. I mean, he goes and gets in on the quarterback and gets the ball out. So not all the outcomes that we want, but surely proud of the effort and surely proud of some of the good things that came out of it.
You know, Coach, in my world of transportation planning, we talk about when a project gets built, a new overpass, a new road, whatever, there's outcomes and there's output.
Yep.
Outcome is the new road, the new bus. Output is what's the the output is the project. The outcome is what's the result. So even if they fall short sometimes on the scoreboard with the output, the outcome can be very incredibly motivating and momentum building. Because I was there for those JV games, and like you said, against Arlington High, they got down 20, 22 points or something.
Yep.
And you can easily think, yeah, it's gone. But there's that, didn't have the strong or the fast start, but they had the strong finish and everything in between. Like, hey, we're not going to give up. We got something to go for here.
No doubt. And you hit it. And that's one of my favorite thought processes is process over product. Process over product. And you're talking about the dash and the dash in between when you're living.
Yeah.
That's your process. And so that's really, really, really big for us.
Okay. Well, speaking of process, what's the process for this Thursday and Friday nights?
Yeah, we've got, all right. Okay, we've actually got a Wednesday night game too. So, yeah, our JV Gold is going over to Arlington High on Wednesday night. They are going to play Arlington High's second JV team. This is a best of 3 series that we've got going with them. We took the first one. They just got the second one. So we're going to wrap that best of 3 series up on Wednesday, hopefully bringing that home. On Thursday, and that's going to be at 5:30. So JV goal, or I'm sorry, did I say JV? Dadgummit. Freshman. So Mark scratch all of that from the record. Freshman gold team. We're going to go play Arlington High's freshman second team, and we're going to play them at Arlington High on Wednesday at 5:30. Again, that's the freshman gold team. So on Thursday night, we are going to play our JV Navy. Our JV Navy is going to play Bowie here at Cravens Field. That'll be a 5:30 p.m. kickoff on Halloween. So don't wear your costume. Just come ready to support the Vikes. And then our freshman Navy team will go to Bowie on Thursday at 5:30 p.m. So we've got all of that action happening. And then the Vikes, the varsity Vikes, will take on Bowie at Wildman Field Friday night at 7 o'clock.
All right. Sounds great. I'm not going to try to repeat it, but it's out there. Go to Sports U also. Listen to this again. So
that's it. Rewind it. I know where to be. Some of it.
I know where to be at 5:30 to announce Thursday night at home. So anyway,
there we go.
All right. Anything in particular you're working on? Anything you and the coaches and the players say, okay, to beat Bowie, here's what we have to. And I know you're always saying, hey, focus on the Vikings, but you got to be prepared. What are y'all doing?
Right.
That you want to share?
Yeah, no doubt. It's no secret how powerful their offense is. They've put up a lot of points. They've got a really good quarterback. They've got a great group of receivers. Their offensive line is playing their tails off, very physical. Their running back can go. So I mean, they check a lot of boxes. And so for us, it's make them snap it again, make them execute. And when we get an opportunity to make a play defensively, we've got to take that opportunity to make a play defensively. Their defense, they started as a very young group. They had 9 new starters this year, and you can tell that they've just grown up exponentially from the beginning of the season to where they are now. And so, offensively, we've got to line up, execute, get our playmakers the ball, and let them do what they do, and finish drives in the end zone. This is not a team that you can kick field goals on and have success. We've got to finish drives. We've got to get into the end zone, and so that's a big piece for us. And then the last piece and the most important piece is the special teams, using them as a weapon and doing everything we can on specials to help create an edge for us. So those are the 3 things we're really emphasizing offensively, defensively, and on specials. And then it's about us. I talked about their players and all of those kind of things, but we know as Vikings, we've got to tackle, we've got to block, we've got to do what we do to have success against anybody. So it's very, very Lamar focused. It's very Lamar driven.
Well, sounds like for 2 weeks in a row, my key to the game, as I will say on our pregame shows last week, was, and it happened. I said, Richie Sherrod, I said, the Vikings are going to have to outscore the Colts because the Colts have been putting up points, win or lose, and that's what happened. So I think again, and they found out last week they can do it. Offense, defense, and special teams. They can control the game. The Vikings can make it Viking football. And hey, there's another victory around the corner, I think.
Yep. No, we definitely got an opportunity here in front of us that we're excited about.
Good. Excellent. All right. What else do you want to say about other athletics going on at Lamar High School?
So the Spiking Vikings, our volleyball team, they've made the playoffs. Very excited for them. On Tuesday at 6 o'clock, we have tip on. Is it first tip? It's first tip. Isn't that what you told us? First tip.
Oh, yes.
Okay, maybe not. First serve. No, it's first serve. Dadgummit. All right. I'm going to tell her not to watch.
Heather. No.
We've got first serve 6 o'clock at Coppell High School, playing against JJ Pierce for the first round of the playoffs. Obviously, they've got their final district game of the year tonight against Grand Prairie at Grand Prairie. But we're very, very excited for the Vikes. Very proud of them for making it to the tournament again, making it to the playoffs, and having a chance to extend their season. So get out next Tuesday if you have an opportunity. Get out to Coppell next Tuesday so we can support our Vikings.
Excellent. All right. Anything else to promote about the Booster Club and the cases of any color, any flavor, any brand 20-ounce sports drinks?
We're getting close to the end of the year, and so they're like, "Hey, do you still need that stuff?" Absolutely. Anything that people are willing to bring from a sports drink standpoint, we will gladly accept, and our kiddos will gladly drink. So always accepting those donations. And I've actually put something out on our Sports U for any incoming parents and any parents that we have currently that are interested in learning more about our Booster Club board. We're going to have some seats that come available and come open after this year. And so I've put a survey out on our Sports U for any parents who think they want to. And again, signing up on this survey does not mean that you are signed up and mean that you've got to get to work right away. What it is, it's an exploratory option for you where you can come see what the inner workings look like at a board meeting and see if this is something you want to be a part of. So any of our parents that think, hey, I want to do that, come on, sign up on that survey and I'll be reaching out to you.
Excellent. That was good deal. Well, hey, I want to take a moment. I've done this before. I want to give a shout out to all of the young men you send up on Thursday nights or Wednesday nights to help up in the booth when I'm flying solo. A lot of times doing announcing, and those guys are running the clock, the scoreboard. They're spotting for me, and believe it, I shouldn't say believe it or not, they're encouraging those players down on the field from up in the booth. They can't hear it because they don't do it over the microphone, obviously. But what a great group of young men every time, Coach. Thank you. And I just want to say how great it is to be up there with respectful, polite, courteous young men. And, they're football players, but they're always, thank you. And I'm like, well, thank y'all for helping, and so well, thank you again.
Thank you, because you've created an environment in there that they want to keep coming back and they keep begging. And hey, no, it's my turn this week. So they definitely enjoy that time with you too.
Excellent. Well, it's a great thing. All right, Coach, last call for any other comment statements before we sign off this week.
I'm forgetting something, but no, I'm not forgetting something. I've got something. I've
Okay.
I've I've gotta give a shout out to our fans. I've gotta give a shout out to our families and everybody that was at the game, on Friday night. Um, it was a very exciting win. It was great for the program and all of those things, but the encouragement, the chants, the cheering, it was it was one of the most special, incredible moments of my career as a coach. And I tell you, as we're on the sideline and our crowd is chanting, "Let's go North Side, let's go North Side."
Oh,
I mean, I got
nice.
goosebumps. Um, I got goosebumps, and I was so thrilled. I was so excited. The energy that our fans brought, the energy that the Vikings brought. I mean, it was electric, and it was one of the most, again, incredible moments of my professional career. So thank you, Vikings. Thank you, Viking Nation, for being a part of that special night and for bringing the juice.
And let's do it again Friday at Wildman.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, until next time, I'm Bill Frawley with head Viking football coach Billy Skinner for the Randall Mill Pharmacy Coaches Show saying VFND.
VFND.